Walt, I'll get started. Chad Brendel, Bearcat Journal. I see the smile already.
Yeah.
What does sitting at that podium and wearing that C-Paw mean to you?
Wow. It's awesome, coming here in 2008 and then having the opportunity to coach here, really 10 years later, it's something that's it's a pretty awesome feeling. So, coaching football, you kind of, do your thing, and to be able to have the opportunity to come back here and coach, it's a pretty good feeling.
Keith Jenkins with the Cincinnati Enquirer. Pleasure to meet you. You've seen this program grow from afar. You started this thing, you left, but how is it being back here after seeing the growth and now having a chance to be a part of it, getting even further up that ladder?
Well, it's pretty impressive what Coach has done here, especially with the culture. Just the development of the facilities, the pride that the guys have, in playing here and graduating from here. It's something that is really exciting, being on the outside looking in and watching this thing grow. So, I'm just fired up to have a chance to add to it, and kind of, bring whatever I can bring to help, keep pushing this thing to the next level.
Neil Meyer with the Front Office News. You mentioned looking on from the outside in. Last year you had linebacker core led by two veterans, Joel and Darian. What's it been like having that knowledge as a coach, looking in at all the younger guys like Jaheim Thomas, Deshaun Pace, and all the younger guys?
Well, it's a lot of good clay to work with. This morning we had a chance to, finally get around the entire team and see guys move around and see guys get after, see them compete, see them sweat, and to see the physical development of the different players. It gets you fired up as a coach to be able to, now help them develop, mentally and as players to help them go to the next level. You can see the physical development, but, to be here and have a chance to help them out, football-wise is pretty good. It's pretty exciting.
Any job here is something you've had your eye on for a little while now. Take me through the drive to Cincinnati as you were coming to meet with Coach Vic. What's going through your brain, and then that meeting you had with Coach Fickle that ended up in you being back?
It was a time change, as I was heading up back to Ohio from Arkansas, and once we were able to get together and kind of just talk about the program, and just talk about everything on the way up, just thinking about all the connectivity that I have, to the university and really to Ohio in general. Since I've been coaching football, I pretty much have been everywhere but the Midwest, whether it's in Florida, Tennessee, New Jersey, being out in Virginia, I've been all over the place. So, thinking about finally being able to, making an impression here in Ohio, be around family and, be back here at UC. Again, it was quite a bit to wrap my mind around, but, I'm definitely thankful for the opportunity to be here.
Justin Williams, The Athletic. Vic was telling us about a conversation you guys had 2 or 3 years ago, when he kind of first got to meet you. What do you remember? Like, how did that conversation come about? And what do you remember from that?
It's interesting. I actually met Vic in 2017. It was a mat drill. I was working at Eastern Kentucky at the time. So you kind of fast forward, from there. And, we just talk, football and, what's next. And, I do want to be a head coach one day. That's something that I have, tried to position myself and strive for throughout my career. And I know he's aware of that. He know that, I plan on, trying to obtain, more than just being a position coach. And that's kind of what the conversation centered around. And, throughout our relationship over the years, that's something that he's always been aware of. And, I really appreciate him, still thinking about me, when things kind of, the staff kind of shook up a little bit. And with him knowing that, it meant a lot to me.
Obviously, you can't talk about specifics, but when you've started to get on the phone and talk to kids, are you blown away at how different the perception is of this program from when you were in that position And, you know, 2008, nothing had happened yet. And now it's, you know, playing for a football playoff team that you're selling.
Well, it's interesting because I always talk to Lambert, and I tell him that we need to somehow categorize the different phases of Cincinnati football, right? Like just the different eras, you know, in which when I played, where we were kind of, you know, picking it up, and then, you know, up until this point where, you know, the guys are in a good situation. So, you know, it's just one of them deals that you just try to add to it. You know, you just try to add to it.
You're obviously familiar with this team being at Temple the past few years. What was it like, you know, as an opposing coach, kind of watching and game planning from the outside in?
It was, you know, it's football, right? I mean, eventually you got to put the ball down and you got to play. So, you know, being there, you know, it was a good matchup. You know, the schools are very similar. The players are kind of got that grittiness to them. So it definitely was a game that I always looked forward to, you know, competing in. And, you know, you always knew that the guys in red and black were going to bring it. So that was something that was always exciting and preparing, you know, to play these guys.
What can you tell us just about the position? I know, you know, Coach Mason handled snipers. Are you just doing snipers, or are you doing more as the outside linebackers coach?
Yeah, so I'll primarily work with the snipers, and then I also will help, you know, with some pass rush stuff here and there, you know, with guys, you know, walking up in the line of scrimmage and things like that. So, you know, but the snipers will be primarily my group, you know, my responsibility, you know, get those guys going, and then I'll be able to help, you know, in between with some of the pass rush things that we may do, and then as well as, you know, with ideas and, you know, drills and stuff like that in the back end. So I'll be kind of, you know, working back and forth between the front seven and the back end.
I know you and Scruggs are kind of similar in age. Did you know him at all previously? Ever cross paths?
So we never really crossed paths, but you know, with Danny Milligan being here, I know that they were teammates. You know, at St. X, I believe. So I kind of always knew of him. I don't know if he really knew of me. He was a big time recruit. I kind of was a developmental guy. So I always knew of him, and then in coaching, you know, I had a chance to meet him and, you know, introduce myself to him, you know, through the crossover years and things like that. So we finished school the same year. I just found that out the other day. So he went on to go play, and then I kind of got right into coaching.
How cool is it to come back and see Gino and Benz and all this flavor that has kind of been running through the program for so many years?
It's really neat. You know, it's really neat. You know, just to see guys, you know, wearing a C-paw that take a lot of pride in it. You know, that's something that, again, Coach Fickle has done a wonderful job of culturally of building that pride. And then when you see guys like Gino and Benz, you know, wearing the colors, you know what it means to those guys. You know the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into the program. And, you know, they know the same thing about me as well. So that's something that's really awesome. And you know that they're going to do whatever they can to, you know, put their best foot forward.
I don't want to forget Pat, get myself in trouble.
Yeah, and Lambert as well.
Anybody else? Couple more. Anybody?
Good?
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Walt.
guys.
Appreciate it.